How you doing, Tony? I'm Gary Harper with Channel 3. 3 on your side?
How you doing, Gary Harper?
I'm all right. Wanted to see...
Tonight, 3 on your side confronts a contractor who's in hot water with one of his customers. That contractor is accused of taking thousands of dollars and not completing the job. Gary is here with details. Gary?
Yeah, the tab is around $6,200, Patty, and the homeowner paid every red cent up front, of course, to the contractor. The problem, though, the job was never finished, and the contractor, well, he just seemed to have vanished until I found him. Well, I'm trying to give you a fair shot here. Do you want to turn around and talk to us, or are you going to keep fixing your tile?
His name is Tony Nichols, and although he was a little surprised at our visit, he eventually did stop what he was doing to turn around and talk to 3 on your side.
Right.
I don't rip people off.
Well, he claims he doesn't, but Sharon Becker isn't so sure. She hired Tony Nichols, who owns a company called All Paint and Repair, back in December to work on her Sun Lakes home. But after paying Tony Nichols nearly $6,200 in advance...
He didn't show up. I could not get a hold of him. I waited every single day thinking he was going to show up.
Now, for all of that money, Sharon says Tony Nichols was supposed to paint a couple of rooms and replace 2 doors. But the big-ticket project, Sharon says, was to remove this carpet from her bedroom and install some nice tile.
I have been saving, and I chose to do this rather than a trip.
As for the doors, they were installed, and the painting, it was done. But as for the big tile job, Sharon says Tony Nichols never returned.
I've called him, without exaggeration, about 1,000 times.
Tony Nichols claims to be a licensed contractor, but the license number on his website doesn't even belong to him. It belongs to someone else, which is illegal. As for finishing Sharon's project, Tony maintains he would never consider abandoning her job after he was paid.
I've never, ever in my life taken money from somebody. Never done it. Ever.
She's having a hard time getting a hold, and she thinks you walked off with her money, but you're telling me that's not the case.
Not going anywhere.
Tony Nichols says he got tied up finishing some other jobs and admits he should have returned Sharon's phone calls.
She's worried enough that she contacted me.
It's lack of communication on my part because I've been overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed or not, Tony Nichols says he's a big fan of 3 on your side and actually enjoys when I find contractors who made off with someone's money.
I respect you guys. I'm glad you guys go do that stuff. I tell you, I said when you guys put everybody on a spot, I think that's funny because there's so many people out there that rip people off.
But Tony claims he's not that kind of guy, and although it's been weeks since he stopped talking to Sharon or even working on her home, he promised 3 on your side over and over that he would return to finish. I feel good, right?
I feel like an idiot.
Sharon says she's not asking for too much. She paid more than $6,000 in advance for a job, and she just wants to know that Tony Nichols will return to finish it.
I can't even tell you how I have felt. Physically, it's made me ill.
Well, Tony has one more room, just one more room left to paint, and of course he has that tiling job that he promises to have done by late next week. Of course, I'll keep you posted on what happens with that story. Of course.